So over the years on my channel, something that I love to do is give you folks different sketchbook ideas. So I've done tons of videos on this, and today we are back with another how to fill your sketchbook video, except this one has a bit of a pleasant twist to it because it conveniently falls at the beginning of a new year, and somehow me starting a new sketchbook lined up with that. So I'm going to show you some ideas for starting a sketchbook. Little disclaimer, this is a watercolor sketchbook. Everything you see in this video will be done in watercolor, but that does not mean you need to use watercolor. That does not mean you need a watercolor sketchbook. All these ideas can be used with whatever you have, whatever you like. Let's go. Let's have some fun. So for this first sketchbook idea, I wanted to give you a glimpse of how I prepared my sketchbook. And this is my new sketchbook here. We're going to break this thing in with the first idea. And I'm really excited for this one because I think it will alleviate some pressure for you folks. If you're somebody who gets really intimidated by beginning a sketchbook and the first couple pages just, it feels like the bar is already set high. Even though those pages don't have anything on them yet, it's scary. Well, I'm here to show you something that's pretty common knowledge. It's not a new idea, but I think it's a helpful one for you. I purposely showed you setting up my palette as a way to sort of hint at this one and make you feel like you're coming along for the adventure with me, keeping it real, but I'm creating a swatch page. Now, the reason why I am doing this at the beginning of this sketchbook, first of all, I just bought new watercolors and I was really excited for this. But second of all, I know I make a lot of sketchbook videos and a lot of painting videos, but I'm no different than you. Sometimes the first page or the first couple pages, they're just plain scary and I need to break the ice. So in order to get my enthusiasm going and make my sketchbook feel more welcoming, I decided to do a swatch page. And you can make it fun. Like I did little floral elements and stuff and labeled the colors. I really like how happy it makes my sketchbook feel, and you can do this no matter what kind of sketchbook you have with whatever medium you want. Well, we finished our swatch page. I think it's time to jump into some more ideas. But before we do that, I would like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I have talked about Skillshare a lot over the years, and that's because it is a platform that I just love. It is an online learning community, and there are thousands of classes that you can choose from. Like for instance, I'm an art channel. You guys are watching me, so I'm assuming you love art. And if you want to get better at certain skills or just like deepen your hobby with art, there are so many like illustration classes, watercolor classes, acrylic painting classes, graphic design, like anything that you can think of that you want to hone in on creatively, it is there. And they're always adding new classes to choose from. It is a wonderful place. In fact, I'm actually taking an art class right now. It is called Color Theory for Illustrators, a fun beginner's guide to creative color. It is by Brooke, Glaser, and I really like this class because it touches on so many things with color theory, and I want to be more intentional about that within my artwork. Like for instance, she touches on color temperature, hue, saturation, color harmony, so much more. And you folks are always asking me about color theory, so I'm gonna link that class down below because I think it will be beneficial for you. Now, Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, so that means no ads are gonna interrupt your flow and just ruin your whole mindset. It's wonderful. And as I said, they're always adding new classes for you to enjoy. So whether you just wanna like dabble into a hobby, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you wanna like learn some stuff to further your business, I highly recommend Skillshare. So since you just sat here and watched me rave about Skillshare, how about we do something to benefit you? The first 1,000 subscribers to click the link in my video description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can enjoy all the things I just talked about. And if you're not into art classes, oh, there are so many others to choose from. So many categories. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Take advantage of that free trial and enjoy yourself. With the new year, new goals, you can just like really, invest in yourself. It's great. Thanks again, Skillshare. I love your platform, and you guys are awesome people, so yeah. So let's move on to the next idea. Now we're at the start of a year, and I think at this time of year, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. So if you're somebody who makes those, let me know in the comments what your New Year's resolutions are. But with that being said, I'm trying to create sketchbook ideas for this video specifically that are a little more approachable for the folks out there who want to create more art. Or maybe they are starting a sketchbook for the first time and they're kind of scared. So some of these ideas are going to be really easy and really approachable because I have you in mind. But with that being said, they are somewhat time consuming, like this one. So paint a bunch of stripes on your page, but keep it a limited color palette. Let that dry. Now, I'm coming in here with some other shapes. Now these other shapes, they're gonna set the tone for your page because this is gonna be really cool. I'm doing cityscapes on each stripe. Now with the stripes, what I'm doing is kind of having lighter colored stripes and darker colored buildings for the colors that it makes sense. And then later we'll switch it up a little bit. You'll see what I mean. You can do this with any medium out there. You do not need to be using watercolors. I'm just doing this because I feel like using watercolors in this video. But this would look really cool with like marker or colored pencil or something like that too. So if you want to use those supplies instead, go for it. I'm sure it will look awesome. If you're somebody like me who maybe doesn't always have the patience for colors to dry and you are using watercolor, you can use a hairdryer or something, but I prefer to let stuff just dry naturally. And sometimes I don't wait, and so there's little ink bleeds and stuff. And you can see that on my page. I'm not gonna hide it from you. I think it's kind of cool. It looks like a storm cloud. So yeah, your sketchbook pages do not have to be perfect. Mine definitely aren't. The whole purpose of spending time in your sketchbook really is for the experience and the process. And I really like it because, I don't know, messing around in my sketchbook alleviates a lot of stress and it feels like my safe space to express myself. So here's our little cityscape page. I hope it inspires you to create in your sketchbook too. You know how I just mentioned that my sketchbook is my safe place? Well, I hope it can be that for you too. And so for this idea, I invite you to just doodle things that feel safe and familiar to you. For me, that is flowers, botanicals. And this page by no means is going to look like a masterpiece. It is just that. It is fun doodles. I'm just messing around, experimenting, because this is a safe place to do so. And your sketchbook can be that too. So say you really love painting pizza, then paint like 8 pizzas on a page, and that's really cool, you know? I hope you enjoy this one, and I hope it makes you feel like you can just kind of break out of the box and be free as an artist and do what you want on your own pages. It doesn't need to be complicated. There doesn't need to be rules, but yeah. Okay, this idea here is one that I really, really enjoy, and maybe this is something other people do too. I'm not sure. So if this is something you already do, let me know in the comments down below. But for this idea, I want you to draw or paint 2 things at once on both pages. So you might be wondering, okay, Mira, but why? Like, what's the point of this? And there's a couple reasons why. So first of all, I'm using watercolor and I need time for my layers to dry. So usually, if I'm using watercolor and I want to pass the time, I do 2 things at once. And it's really nice because layers on the other page can dry. I don't get impatient and I can still do what I prefer. I like the paint to naturally dry. So it works out. But the more fun element of this one actually is just to let your brain bounce back and forth between multiple pieces of art. Kind of like reading 2 books at a time, That's really fun for me. So if you're somebody who enjoys multitasking, maybe you're somebody who gets bored with your art halfway through, this is a really good one for you. I think sometimes when you get midway through a piece and you're in that awkward stage, it can be discouraging. But if you want to push yourself and see if you can get past it, I totally invite you to try doing 2 different drawings or paintings at once. So I'm doing a moth on one page because I love moths. And on the other page, I am doing a plant kindness design, and it's a little cactus. I love plants. I actually had a sticker in my shop that sold out that said plant kindness. So I'm kind of playing around with other designs for that, even though I'm going to restock that sticker. But yeah, just a side note. For this one, I decided to add colored pencil details because I just felt like doing that, I guess. It's fun to do mixed media pieces, especially in my sketchbook. I really like it. So I hope this one sounds fun to you. This was probably the most fun page that I'm doing in this video. It was really, really enjoyable. And yeah, just going back and forth, something about the way it makes your brain feel when you do 2 pieces, I think is just really, really cool. This idea here is super simple. If you don't want to get super involved in a piece of artwork, but you still feel like expressing yourself creatively, this is a really good one. So if you have a spray bottle, you can spray your whole page down and then just lay some color on it and watch it bleed across the page. I chose this really deep turquoise blue because I'm just a sucker for blues. So pretty. Now, once you get the edges how you like it, let it dry, and then you can get a marker. Now, I'm just doing lines straight down the page. You can go in any direction that you want, but we're keeping it simple. That's the point here. So now with each line, you just do a bunch of dots on the line. Like literally that's it. And then you fill the page. It is like the easiest thing, and anybody can do this, and it will look cool no matter if you're a beginner or if you've been doing art your whole life. This is just one of those easy exercises. Let's peel the tape off and I'll show you what I mean. There we go. That's how it turned out. Hope you like it. If you've ever watched any of my sketchbook idea videos in the past, you may have seen this one come up. But I do this in every single sketchbook because it is worth repeating. I just kind of change it up each time I do it. So let's talk about it. I just started a brand new sketchbook, and conveniently, we just started the year. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create a page with different art goals for the year. I love doing this because it kind of puts all my visions on a page. And at the same time, I don't have to make it a boring list. I can make this a pretty doodly page. So that's what we're going to do. Now for this page here, I kind of did like mountains in the background, or hills, I guess. And now that it's all dry, I am doing some big yellow circles and ovals, kind of misshapen on purpose. It doesn't need to be perfect. Now I'm doing some little ones here and there. We'll let that dry. Now I'm going in with a pinkish, orangey color, and I'm doing petals around all these circles because we're doing giant flowers in a field. I really like this because each flower is going to hold a goal. So you can do as many flowers as you want for your goals, but I will be transparent with you. I am doing a lot less goals this year because I'm pregnant with twins, and I don't anticipate pushing myself like super hard artistically once they make their arrival into the world. And with that being said, you'll see that a lot of my personal goals are going to be more of like a mental state rather than a productivity state. And if you're somebody who maybe struggles with burnout, or the pressure of being productive really has the opposite effect on you and kind of like paralyzes you, then maybe it would be good for you to make like more mental goals too. Like the only physical goal I think I have is to create new painting series. And oh yeah, I would like to teach a class on Skillshare either in 2022 or 2023 because I have an idea in mind. But the other ones, like, they're really not huge, like unachievable goals. They're things that I can do just with my mindset. Like, if I don't feel inspired, I can be kind to myself anyway. And my worth is not determined by my artistic productivity. Also, be whimsical and just have fun. To create for the process, you know, enjoy that. That's a big goal. And yeah, be more intentional about color theory, stuff like that. Pretty easy goals, but I'm happy with them. I hope you make a goal page for yourself too. It's really fun. Okay, so this final page kind of came about by I don't even know how to say this. I just got inspired because I was looking at photos of animals on Pixabay. And I came across this tiger that was just sitting on a rock. And you know, tigers, they're like intimidating animals. They're predators. But they're also like really beautiful animals. And it really struck me that this photo of a tiger looked so relaxing, and that even these fierce creatures that we admire in nature they need rest too. And we humans, we need that too. So for this page, I invite you to think of something that invites you into the state of rest, or something that makes you want to rest, something that reminds you of rest. It can be anything that really just puts you in the restful headspace. So for me, I decided I'm going to draw this tiger, and I'm going to make it really illustrative and fun. So instead of a giant gray rock, I did like a happy field of grass and flowers. And then I wrote right above the tiger's body, rest is good. Because that is a good reminder for us in, I think, today's society. There's a lot of pressure to, I don't know, talk about busyness as a status symbol almost. And I don't really jive with the whole hustle culture thing. I think humans are made to need rest from time to time. And it is good to be productive, but it's also good to take care of yourself and physically and mentally rest. So, if you need that reminder, it is a good place to have in your sketchbook. I thought it was fun to do bright, happy, whimsical colors and doodly designs all around this tiger to strip the seriousness away from everything, too. Because life is meant to be enjoyed, and as I said, we are meant to rest. So for me, that really helped, and it actually brought out like a really different art style for me. Like, I don't know, this is not something I would normally do. You folks have seen my art, but I am a style hopper, so like also whatever, I'm cool with it. I like exploring and just doing weird stuff like this. I hope you guys like this one. And I hope that, there are going to be days when you don't feel like creating, and that's okay. I don't draw every day, and I do art for a living. You don't have to create every day either. You don't have to be productive every day. We can have restful days, and that's okay. So if there's any encouragement I want to leave you with, it's that. And yeah, I hope this page inspires you, though, and either makes you want to create a page to remind yourself to rest, or I hope it just makes you want to rest in general. Wow, I can't believe we just did all those ideas together. Can you? This one here, hooey, it was a lot of fun. It got a lot deeper in meaning than I initially anticipated before I went into this. I was honestly just looking at pictures of animals, and then, yeah, this whole idea washed over me. So I wanted to share it with you, and I think it is a good idea to end the video with, because artists can be very critical of themselves. I am. I know some of you guys are, because I read your comments every day, and we're not alone. So I just hope this one is encouraging for you. We don't need to be productive all the time. I think Instagram is just, it really makes you feel like you have to be super productive when other people are posting a lot, but that's okay. We don't have to compare ourselves to other people. We can just enjoy our own process. But also remember to rest. I hope you enjoyed these ideas. I really enjoyed this one. Like, this one was so therapeutic for me and much needed, especially after the holidays. So I hope that it helps you too. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I will be doing more art videos in the future, but again, I'm not really on a schedule anymore. Just kind of when I feel like it, because yeah, that's just how it is right now. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with resting. See you when I see you. Bye.